What's going on, guys? Obviously, it's CaptainObviouzX, and welcome to the Armory. In today's episode, I will be reviewing the LSAT light machine gun from the Close Quarters expansion pack. Now, before I get into any statistics about this weapon, just a quick disclaimer about the gameplay. It is not that great because the LSAT is a very difficult weapon to get good gameplay with, as I found out with my time with the weapon. And you'll find out in today's episode what I think about this weapon and whether or not I feel is a good alternative to other more powerful light machine guns, such as the M249 and the PKP. Now, the first thing everybody wants to know about the LSAT is what its damage is. The damage is 25 to 18.4 over range, just like many other weapons in this game. The damage drop-off begins at 8 meters and ends at 50 meters. Shots to kill in core mode are 4 to 6, and in hardcore mode, your shots to kill are going to be 3 to 4. So right in the beginning of all the statistics about the LSAT, it begins to lack significantly in many different areas. Its rate of fire is 650 rounds per minute, which is very low for a weapon like the LSAT that competes with other higher fire rate weapons like the L86A2, like the RPK, and the M249, because it's all in the same category of weapons. So now, coupled with the arguably lower damage compared to many other light machine guns like the PKP and the M240 Bravo, and mixed with this lower rate of fire of 650 rounds per minute, the LSAT really has difficulty in maintaining good times to kill unless you get headshots. And the LSAT, just like many other light machine guns in this game, is not very accurate. So getting headshots is a very difficult thing with this weapon. Now, there are a few good things about the LSAT, which we'll get into a little bit later in today's video in regards to, recoil and things like that. But right now, let's talk about a few more statistics about the LSAT that may be a little bit more detrimental to the way it behaves. So let's talk about muzzle velocity and range. Muzzle velocity on LSAT is going to be 620 meters per second, which is pretty standard for the light machine gun category of weapons, on par with the M249 and other weapons. Now, the range of this weapon is going to be 930 meters, exactly the same as many other light machine guns, and a little bit further than other ones. But remember, this statistic here is really sort of not necessary to even pay attention to, because the range you'll be using the weapon at is nowhere near 930 meters, so don't really worry about it whatsoever. Just worry about the muzzle velocity of 620 meters per second, and coupled with the fact that the light machine gun has a lower rate of fire, you will get pretty, average time to kills because of the faster muzzle velocity and lower rate of fire. Now, this weapon may have one redeeming factor before we get into the real issues with the weapon. The reload time is 5.6 seconds, no matter how many bullets you have left in your gun. This is a very nice reload time. It's average because there are some magazine-fed light machine guns and there are some belt-fed light machine guns. So when looking at the LSAT's, reload time here, it's good. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's good. Now, if any of you guys are up to the challenge, and I doubt any of you guys actually are, you can cancel reload with the LSAT. The reload time will be 4.76 seconds, but like I've said before in many other videos, this is incredibly hard to pull off. Do not worry about any sort of cancel reload unless you are throwing a grenade or interrupting your weapon reload some other way to keep yourself alive. If you're in normal circumstances, do not worry one bit about canceling the reload time on the LSAT. It's not worth it whatsoever. Now, unfortunately, things begin to go significantly downhill for the LSAT. The recoil patterns on the numbers are actually very good. It has a 0.4 upwards recoil and a 0.35 left and right pull. So the LSAT should be very easy to control, and it is. But that's not where the issue is. The LSAT has some serious accuracy issues. I don't know what the hell is going on with this weapon, but for some reason, this weapon just does not want to hit anybody with any bullets it shoots out of the gun. So, if you look at the on-screen demonstration right here, it looks minorly accurate. It does not seem that bad. And statistically, it is on par with many other weapons in the game, and even its hipfire is a little bit better than other belt-fed light machine guns like the M249. So there really isn't anything statistically the LSAT really is lacking in. But the one department it is lacking in is its hit detection. Now, from my experiences with the LSAT, the hit detection really is off of this weapon. So there are a few ways we can improve the accuracy and recoil of the weapon, and namely the bipod. The bipod is my first recommended attachment for the LSAT light machine gun, and it pretty is standard for many other light machine guns that I'll ever recommend to you guys. Now, the LSAT has, good recoil, but with the bipod, it really gets significantly better. I don't know what the hell was up with that last recoil right there, but, you know, whatever. So, the LSAT has good recoil with the bipod. It's a good attachment for the weapon to maintain good accuracy and recoil at the longer ranges. I couldn't recommend it anymore. Now, this is where things start to get difficult for me in recommending my second attachment. I actually have two here. The flash suppressor is my very first recommended attachment, and it's good for controlling the recoil to a minor degree. You won't see a significant lack in recoil, you know, the maximum recoil it achieves, but you will see a difference in the time it takes to reach that maximum recoil. So therefore, recoil management and accuracy with the LSAT is a lot easier while burst firing. So you can burst fire significantly better with the weapon with the flash suppressor on, which is my main recommendation when using the weapon, like I did for the M249. Like I said there, the weapons with the flash suppressor are easier to burst fire, not necessarily easier to go fully automatic. The hip fire on the LSAT, though, is decreased with the flash suppressor attached, unlike the M249, which I reviewed last time. Now, my second recommended attachment will be the suppressor, and you'll see me use it a lot in the gameplay in today's video, like you saw before this full segment here. So the suppressor is my personal favorite for using with the LSAT for a few reasons. One, it will reduce your vertical recoil like the flash suppressor before it, and it also will hurt your hipfire accuracy. But the best thing about the suppressor that I feel is its minor increase in your aim down sight accuracy. Like I said before, the LSAT has very, very difficult times in hitting enemies because of a few problems that really aren't statistically backed up. So the LSAT with the suppressor makes it a little bit easier to actually hit your enemies and a little bit easier to control because the flash suppressor, the suppressor does reduce your vertical recoil. The LSAT's magazine size is 100 rounds, which is pretty big to begin with, and with extended magazines it goes all the way up to 200 rounds per magazine, which is extremely large for a low fire rate weapon like this. Alright, now here comes the difficult part. The LSAT is a weapon I really want to like. The recoil is fascinating in terms of controllability. The accuracy on paper is good. The controllability of the weapon is great mixed with that rate of fire that is lower, and the damage output is medium at best. But for some odd reason, and a reason I cannot explain whatsoever, the LSAT is extremely bad at accurately killing enemies. You can see throughout my entire gameplay here, I am missing a shitload of shots. Sorry about that. And it's not really backed up at all by statistics. It just cannot detect enemies in front of it. It has really difficult times even hurting enemies. So the LSAT gets my thumbs down in terms of using it. Don't use the weapon. There's some major issues with this. If you like it, that's great. I personally do not like the weapon. It just does not feel good in my hands. That's what she said. And, you know, in general, the weapon really is outclassed by more heavier light machine guns like the PKP, M240 Bravo, and the M60, which we'll review at a later date. So, the LSAT, just pass on it. It's not the best. It won't give you anything that other light machine guns will give you. So, don't even worry about using the weapon. It's not the best out there. Don't use it. So that is it for today's episode of the Armory. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You learned something new and useful regarding the LSAT. I'm a little disappointed at the actual results of my testing with the weapon. Now, next episode, I will be reviewing the Type 88 light machine gun, which from the looks of the LSAT and the fact that their statistics are pretty similar, it will not get any better from here. So now, if you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Armory, please give me a thumbs up. That really does help out a lot in knowing what you guys want to see more on my channel. If you guys have yet to, I highly recommend checking me out on Twitter. It really does help out a lot with communication between you and I, and making announcements regarding open lobbies, live streams, and things like that when I actually get into that. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.